InfoHub. President David Granger takes command following fire at the Georgetown prison. Minister Ramjatan and Commissioner of Police assure that everything is being done to maintain control. Critical decisions were made to protect citizens last evening, and over $6 billion approved for supplementary spending this year. Stay tuned for these and more. Daddy! Thanks for staying with us. We begin by telling you that President David Granger took charge of the situation last evening after the massive fire at the Georgetown prison and called 2 national security meetings. Following the second meeting earlier today, Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan and Commissioner of Police Silal Prasad explained what is being done to ensure the safety and security of all.
Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan gave InfoHub an update following the latest national security meeting at Camp Guyana. The main focus was to better accommodate and redistribute the close to 1,000 prisoners transferred to the Luzignan prison last evening.
We have made some decisions as to how many and who will go to Mazaruni, how many will go to New Amsterdam and Temeri. And we are also in the process of getting magistrates to be at Luzignan for purposes of ensuring that those minor offenses and those who are on bail but couldn't afford it make the arrangements for the granting of bail on their own recognizance so that we can shift some of them back to their homes. The arrangements are being placed as we now speak. 6 magistrates from 6 different magisterial districts working on that. Those districts in and around Georgetown and East Coast and East Bank, so that we can ensure that that will be a further reduction.
The Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Minister Ramjatan says, is on board to help clear the debris at the Georgetown prison site.
It might take a couple of days because of the fact that the embers are still burning on the debris. And so that will take some days. But we understand that there are other things that they will have to do there too, because to get an excavator into that for removal of debris might require some infrastructural works to the walls there. But whatever it is, we are doing as best as possible.
The minister also thanked the business community and the general public for the assistance offered during the events at the Georgetown prisons yesterday. He emphasizes that the situation is under control.
So many citizens and businessmen came to our assistance, providing the transportation to take them there. And all the joint services, police, army, and so many, the fire department came to our assistance to ensure that stability was maintained throughout. And we are very happy about that. There were lots of businessmen too that came forward with their lighting systems. I must congratulate my other ministers. Their ministries that had lighting systems, they came to put around the Luzignan area to brighten that up. And so many other things. The actual workers at the prison came out and worked very late into the morning to get the amount of people who they know are at the Luzignan and to check them off and things like that.
Commissioner of Police Silal Prasad provided InfoHub with an update on the prison escapees.
There are 5 that are still at large. 4 of that 5 we confirm identity, and we are yet to confirm the identity of the 5th person.
Anything that's the way they may be?
We had information that has been partially confirmed of one site in Georgetown.
The manhunt continues and members of the public are urged to take precautions for their safety and report any suspicious activity. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
And last evening, President Granger assured citizens that the situation was under control of the authorities who responded promptly. Here is what the head of state had to say.
Troops were deployed from the Guyana Defense Force, special police were deployed from the Guyana Police Force, the fire service was deployed, and of course the prison service responded immediately So there was immediate response from all 4 of those services. I was briefed by the Minister of Public Security, and I immediately decided to summon a special meeting of the National Security Committee. At that meeting, of course, we got information from the Director of Prisons, Mr. Gladwin Samuels, and the Chief Fire Officer, Mr. Marlon Gentle, and of course, the Commissioner of Police, Acting Chief of Staff, in addition to the Minister of Public Security, Prime Minister, and Minister of Legal Affairs, who were normal members of the National Security Committee, were all there. So we were able to craft a response to the fact that the present Guyana Georgetown prison is not in a usable condition. At least most of it has been destroyed and cannot be used. So our immediate task was to ensure the safety of the population by making sure that prisoners were not let loose on society.
Most of what was the Georgetown prisons has been demolished by the fires. Zanil Williams has more.
Several fires were simultaneously started in multiple locations in the prison in a coordinated attack. Director of Prisons Gladwin Samuels told the media that he first became aware of the disturbance at the prison around 16:45 hours on Sunday.
I was informed that an officer was held hostage and there was the sound of gunshots in the prison. Following that, the SOP was activated where the various services were called out. And when I got to the prison, some section of what is referred to as the Wood Prison, situated at the corners of Durban and John Street, and the chapel, which is situated at the corner of Bent and John Street, those 2 buildings, wooden buildings, were on fire.
The prisoners initially set fire to 2 locations of the prison, the Strong Cell Division and the Wooden Prison, but the fires quickly spread to other parts of the prison compound and eventually gutted the wooden section of the facility. The authorities were forced to relocate prisoners to the Luziknan prison. Minister of Public Security Cameron Ramjatan assured that the prisoners will be secured for the next 48 hours at that location.
We are in the process of ensuring that they get water and they get the facilities for their comfort, toilets and all of that, portable toilets and a whole host of other things. And make the arrangements for a number of them to be placed in other prisons tomorrow where there is space.
Officials have confirmed that the fires were orchestrated by Mark Royden Durant, who wanted to escape and were meant to be distractions to his escape bid. Durant is among 5 inmates that are confirmed to have escaped. None of the 5 escapees have yet been recaptured. Sadly, 1 prison officer, Odingo Wickham, died while receiving medical attention, and several prison officers are currently in the care of GPHC for various injuries. Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
Still on the Georgetown prison situation, following the fire which flattened the Georgetown prisons, the authorities made several critical decisions to save lives and protect citizens. Delon Sanko joins us with the details.
Chief Fire Officer Marlon Gentle, upon arriving at the scene yesterday, which saw several buildings inside Georgetown prisons up in flames, said immediate decisions had to be made about what is priority.
What is your priority? Your priority had, 1, to ensure the fire doesn't jump outside the walls of the prisons, and secondly, to ensure that everybody exits the prisons safely. The firefighting role then was to just go into suppressive mode to prepare the exit routes or to safeguard the exit routes to get the prisoners out. Of course, we are talking about the majority of buildings in the prisons being wooden.
Only 1 person has died thus far, while several others are hospitalized. Minister of Public Health Valdo Lawrence indicated that there is a full complement of staff at the Georgetown Public Hospital ready to provide medical services.
We have all the specialists on board with the lab technicians and so on. We've called out everyone. So the emergency unit is well equipped with the staff to be able to address the situation as it continues.
As it relates to the relocation of prisoners, Minister of Public Security Cameron Ramjatan has confirmed that they will be housed temporarily at the Luziknan prison and other prisons countrywide.
It's 1,000 men we're talking about, and some of the other prisons can probably just accommodate 200-300. You still have 700. And from all indications, the flattening by fire of Camp Street means that not in the near future you could go back to Camp Street. And we have what I'll call a big crisis in our hands. We are going to come up with the ideas, of course we have to, and we will have to get special efforts made to get the space so that we can house these people in better condition.
There are at least 5 escapees. The joint services are working to recapture escapees. Delon Sanko for InfoHub.
And now for other news. Zanil Williams joins us to report that a team of officials visited the Blackbush Polder flood-affected areas last Saturday, where 4 pumps have been installed to aid in the draining of waters from the Cookreet Savannah.
Although there has been no rain for the past 3 days, due to extensive rainfall in the past weeks and the overflowing of the Kanji River, the Cookreet Savannah remains flooded. Residents of the Blackbush Polder area met last week with Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu and Minister within the Ministry of Finance, Jaipal Sharma, to air their concerns of the flood. Cattle rearing is the main economic activity of the area. Efforts have since been made to drain waters from the Blackbush Polder area. In an exclusive interview with DPI, the Regional Executive Officer, Kim Stephen Williams, explained that a team including CDC, NDIA, and regional executives visited the Blackbush Polder area last Saturday. 4 pumps have been installed to drain water from the Cookreet Savannah, 2 at number 52 Village, 1 at Adventure, 1 at number 46 Village, and another at number 49 Village. Stephen Williams says that advisories have been sent to the police officers not to impound stray cattle. However, citizens were advised that they are responsible for their cattle. Stephen Williams also noted that regarding an article in the daily newspaper saying that cattle are destroying rice crops is inaccurate. Stephen Williams added that during the visit on Saturday, a small number of cattle were seen in the affected areas. Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
Thank you, Zanil. The National Assembly approves an additional $6.3 billion in supplementary spending for the year. More in this Sunika Thorne report.
The supplementary provision approved included funding to the tune of $130 million for the establishment of a special purpose unit to manage the divestment of the Skeldon factory and other Gaisuku assets. Minister of Finance Winston Jordan explains that in the initial stage, the unit's primary function would be to lead the privatization and divestment process for the Skeldon factory.
Properties of Gaisuku that will come under the microscope, and it is for this unit with the assistance of Gaisuku, to identify these properties, and they get involved. So if there are lands that are identified for sale, so as to bring in revenues to Gaisuku, then this unit will be responsible. After Gaisuku will have identified those lands, they'll be responsible for putting out the adverts, the different things and so on, and to get the land sold under whatever competitive and other bidding that will be undertaken, essentially. So in other words, we're pulling out this whole exercise from Gaisuku and putting it in a specialized unit so that Gaisuku could concentrate on its continuing operations.
Among the allocation approved was more than $60 million for the establishment of the Department of Innovation and Education, which is to be part of the Ministry of the Presidency. Minister of State Joseph Harmon explained that the new department was birthed out of an analysis of the preliminary report in the Commission of Inquiry into the Education System.
Mr. Chairman, this legislation arose out of an analysis which was made from a commission of inquiry which was conducted into the education system and proposals that were made to the cabinet. And based on those proposals, this was one of the decisions made with respect to education. That is to say, to separate out the innovation and reform element in the education system.
The supplementary provision also provided funding for the Ministry of Public Infrastructure to support power utility upgrade, road improvement and rehabilitation works, the reconditioning of ferry vessels, and the CGIA modernization project. There was also funding to support additional resources required to meet the increased costs of purchasing 3 vehicles for the Ministry of Social Protection. Sinika Thorne for the Info Hub.
And finally, government officials visited flood-affected residents along the Pomeroon River to provide relief. I was in the Pomeroon, and here is that report. Ministers Ronald Bulkan, Dr. Karen Cummins, and Winston Felix visited the flood-affected communities of Martindale, Hackney, Aberdeen, and Friendship along the Pomeroon River, where they distributed sanitation packages and tools. Tracy DeCosta, a community health worker at the Hackney Health Center, expressed gratitude for the drugs and supplies that were provided.
I want to say thank you for the stuff that you have brought to us. These ORS that will be useful since we don't have any at present in our health system. The ibuprofen, these gloves, and even the tablet in treating our water and making a safer community. Thank you so much for coming.
Ann James, another resident of Hackney Canal, noted that this is the first ministerial visit to her community and that she is grateful for the assistance provided.
We are much thankful and grateful for this government. I feel much proud of everything that they brought for us and what more we ask for that they may continue to do for us.
Minister Dr. Karen Cummins emphasized that the government acknowledges the importance of health and will continue to upgrade the health facilities in the region. The minister assured the residents that this is only the beginning of great things to come.
We're going to have 50 medics graduating in November. We're having more doctors very soon in this next quarter. I'm going to ensure we have a medical outreach here to look after the dentists will be here, the ophthalmologists with the eyes and so on. So at least for this next quarter, you can have some kind of services which you weren't getting in the last quarters and maybe years.
Regarding the flooding situation, Minister Bulkan committed to the residents that immediate attention will be given.
If we are to bring about meaningful and early relief to the challenges and issues, then it means that the dredging of the mouth of this river has to be a priority.
The minister assured the residents that every other issue relating to other ministries will be related immediately. Before we leave you, all of us at InfoHub express our deepest condolences to the family, relatives, and friends of prison officer Odingo Wickham, who lost his life while receiving treatment. We also wish a speedy and full recovery for all those who were injured. Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.